Are you just like a lot of the other reps that I talk to that struggle with a constant turnover of staff, or maybe even worse yet, the mindset isn't quite yet there for you to be able to justify hiring your staff? Then I think you got to listen to this, because this is a big topic that people talk about all the time with me. The truth of the matter is there's some common mistakes that people make. And I have met reps that literally turn over their assistant every 18 months. And I've met reps, and I think I was one of them, that keep staff for 15 plus years. As a matter of fact, I know I was one of those. And there are some substantial differences between the two. First and foremost is a mindset. Is your staff a cost and expense, or is your staff an investment? And I would say it's more than that. Obviously you want to look at your staff as an investment. The higher caliber quality of individual that you bring in, the bigger return you're going to get on that. But they're also not just a dollar sign, they're a human being, they're people. Do they feel included? Do they feel as if they are inclusive, right? Do they feel as they're a credible part of the team? So first and foremost, what you want to do is have the right mindset when you're hiring somebody, that you're not looking at them as an expense. When you're looking at somebody as an expense, you make very frugal short-term decisions that always come back to bite you in the butt, right? When you're looking at somebody that you're going to hire as an investment, you're looking at but investing a lot more money and getting the right person. So I think that's where you got to start. The second thing that you got to understand is to believe that you're only going to be as good in this business in terms of an advisor as the quality and the caliber of the team you build behind you. Your team is so critically important. And the bigger and better your team is, the more potential that you have as an advisor. And there is always going to be that direct correlation. The moment you stop acquiring new team members, the moment you stop growing your existing team, is the moment that you stop growing. There is a direct correlation between those two. So once you believe that, and once you get the mindset of that, you should always be thinking about what additions can you make to your team. And what happens is you should grow probably in about 3-year increments. What do I mean by that? Is that it should be very scary. If it's not, you're not thinking big enough when you hire a staff person for a year or maybe 6 months. And then it becomes palatable the second year. And then the third year, it's a no-brainer. And then you go get somebody else and it becomes scary, and then it becomes palatable, and then it becomes a no-brainer. And that's really how you can grow really effective teams pretty quickly. So that mindset, I think, is really, really the most important as it relates to this topic. But then there's some other elements to it as well. When you look at Harvard Business Study, you look at that and they'll tell you that money for most people is like 4th or 5th on the list, right? People want to feel that they matter. People want to feel included in the purpose and the vision and the mission of whatever it is that their job is meant to be designed to help support and or do. And people want to feel appreciated, right? And so how good are you at those things? Let's start out by, the value of what you do. So here's what I used to preach all the time, to the point that my 100 plus financial advisors would roll their eyes. They'd hear it too much. Is that, what you do as a financial advisor is the fist of life. And the fist of life is made up in 5 F's. And they're all very, 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 very meaningful, right? For me personally, number 1 is my faith. Number 2 is my family, a very close second. Number 3 would be my friends. Number 4 would be my fitness. And number 5 would be my finances. And at the core of life, those 5 matter in a really, 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 really big way. Like, there's a ton of stuff I love to do in my life, way more than those 5 things. I love to golf. I like to smoke cigars. I like fine wine. I love to travel. I like dinner. I like a lot of stuff, right? Hunting, fishing, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, these are the things that make up life. And when we talk finances, we don't talk about it from a greed perspective. That's not the job you're in, right? You're in the job of preventing anybody from being poor. You're not in the job of making people rich. You're not in the job of getting people to acquire a bunch of toys. You're in the job to give people financial freedom, serenity, peace of mind, to be an advocate for decades, to deliver people to the land where they don't have to worry about money, which is a dominant problem in the world, and especially the country that we live in. So it's a noble calling. You make a difference. You do something that is very, very desperately needed, and it is really, 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 really important. and you matter in a big way. And your staff and your team is an extension of you. So do you have a way? Once a week, once a month as a team in your team meetings, you're reminding your staff of the differences that you're making. The obvious ones would be if you pay out a death claim or you pay out a disability claim. What does your team do to recognize that? That would have never been there had it not been for the work of your team and you, right? But somebody doesn't have to die or become disabled, but benchmarks along the way of financial freedom. People that are really achieving great things through the work your team is doing with them. How much are you filling your team in on that? And how much are you making it real so that they can make the direct correlation that every day they come into work, they're doing something that's noble, they're doing something that matters, right? It's like that old story where two people are laying bricks and somebody walking along goes up to the first person and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm laying bricks." Looked at it as a job. Goes to the second person who's doing the exact same task. So what are you doing? He says, "I'm at the base of building a cathedral," right? Same job, different perspective. Is your staff looking at their job as a job, or is your staff looking at theirs as if they're building a cathedral? Because they are. And are you good at helping them understand that? And then another aspect is when it comes to understand that they're people, right? And they want to be appreciated. They want to be respected. They want to know that you feel they're doing a great job. And so do you tell them? Do occasionally you write them handwritten notes? Do you occasionally take them or send them out for a nice dinner? Do you occasionally recognize them in a big way in front of your clients so that becomes a proud moment for them? And so these are things that I think are critically important. Once you have the mindset that your team and your staff is really, really important, and there's a direct correlation between the quality and quantity of them and how big you can grow, those are two really big understandings on your behalf. Then you look at your team as always, 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 always as an investment, never as an expense. Then you recognize that they want to be part of a noble calling. So do you spend enough time helping them understand the difference and the impact they're making? And do you recognize them as people? Do you say please and thank you all the time? Do you not cancel meetings with them and tell them that your clients are more important than them? Do you give them tokens of your appreciation from time to time? These are the things for you to think about, because understanding your staff is really, really critical and important, is a milestone in monumental growth. So I hope you find this very, very, very helpful. And if so, I also encourage you to check out our academy, p2p-academy.com, where there's so much more content on there. You're going to love it. Best of luck to you.